Healthy habits are hard to keep on the road. Now, the whole diet nutrition is a whole nother thing, but there's a few healthy habits that me as a professional bass angler, I've adapted on the road as well as at home that I want to talk with you about. And the number one thing for me is a stretching routine that I do every night before I go to bed. Now, it doesn't matter if I'm fishing a tournament on the St. Lawrence River or I'm doing a normal office day at home, and then before I go to bed, with my family, in that environment. So it doesn't matter where I'm at. I always do that stretching routine. That's number one. I'm going to show you that here in just a second. But there's a couple other things. Bass anglers that we deal with tendonitis. A lot of guys do. I have a whole routine for that. I'll bring you that in a different video. And I've done other videos on nutrition, and I can do more of those. If you want to see more of those, be sure to hit it down in the comments, kind of like what angle, exactly what you want to hear or see. I've done things on hydration. But right now I want to bring you kind of my little routine for stretching each night. And the one thing that I cannot stress enough is one of these foam rollers. And there's a bunch of different ones out there. I mean, you can go into Amazon, or you can even go over to Walmart and get one. If you're on the road and you forget your roller or you don't have one and you want to go get one, you can just usually hit up a Walmart or Target, somewhere like that, and get one of these. This one's hollow on the inside. It's got the plastic cord, but it doesn't matter. Some of them are just straight foam. But what these do is that they allow you to put your weight on them and roll back and forth, and it's almost like a massage. And you can focus just on one muscle group if you want, but that's really more athlete specific, sport specific. This is what I'm talking about: general public, general dudes, general dudettes, whoever. You want to keep your back from getting stiff. You've been in a car all day, you've been on a plane all day, you've been in meetings all day, boo! You've been in places that you don't want to be, stuck in one position. Your back a lot of times gets stiff. You do this on a daily basis. You can't do this for 30 seconds and then expect all of your back relief to just go away. Some of it has to do with the habits of how you sit in a chair, not sitting in one position, one way or the other for too long, that kind of stuff. But what I do before I start doing my stretching is I always roll my back out. That's what I call it. And I'm just going to start down around my waistline and go all the way up my back into the trap area. And I'm going to do at a minimum of 10. A lot of times I'll just slowly do 15, 20, and you're just pushing that blood back and forth. And a lot of times when your back gets tight, it's because it gets tight and you have inflammation, and the blood just kind of gets stuck there. What this helps do is helps push it out, pushes it down, pushes it up, and it helps free up those little areas in your back that get a little tight, a little stiff. So that's my first step. I do that every night, and it's one of those things that, okay, I did it 2 or 3 nights in a row. I really didn't see much of a difference. Keep doing it. I'm telling you, keep doing it. More than likely, you will feel some relief. It feels good. There's been all kinds of studies that show stretching and massage type work before you go to bed increases your blood flow. It helps you sleep better. So there's all kinds of reasons to do that. So that's number one. I do that. If you have one side of your back that's hurting you a little bit more than the other, you can lean over a little bit more. So now I'm just focusing on the right side of my back. If my left side's a little more of an issue, I can focus on the left side of my back. You can do that as well to really kind of zero in on where your problem issues might be. But that guy stays in my truck. I have one that stays in my truck. My Tundra that I take all over the country stays in there, and then every hotel, every house, everywhere I stay, it goes in with me every night. That's the first thing I do. Then I feel like that the next thing that really starts to get a little tight are my hamstrings. And I'll stretch my hamstrings. I'm going to move that for you. I'm going to stretch my hamstrings multiple times. And I just start out with a little lean over. Now, everybody has different flexibility, but you can always increase it and make it better. So I'm going to lean over My hamstrings are tight right now because I did a really heavy leg workout about a day ago. Not yesterday, day before. So my hamstrings are still a little tight. I'm leaning over it. And what you want to do is just give a little slight pull over. And then here's the trick, people, is you're going to pull back. Like you're going to pull with your back on your legs, like you're trying to pull your legs up. And so what that's going to do is that it allows your tendons to stretch more and more. So you're going to do that. I usually do 3 rounds of that. I'll pull back, and then I'll stretch down again, and then I'll pull back against it, and I'll stretch down again too. And I'm going to probably stay in each position probably 10-15 seconds. Now pull back on it one more time, your third time, and then you're going to go down and pull as far as you can down, and you'll realize that that last stretch is going to be noticeably further than your first one. So you're elongating all those tendons and loosening up and truly stretching. So now I can grab the bottom of my feet. I'll do it like that. So that's usually the first thing that I do. And then the second thing that I do is I want to loosen up all of this area in here, your groins, your hips, open up my hips. A lot of blood flow inside of the legs there, so I want to make sure that's good and stretched out. And there's 2 different ways that I'm going to stretch here. I'm going to pull my legs as tight as I'm comfortable with. Now everybody's different. That doesn't matter how far down or whatever. I'm not a gymnast by any means. I'm not super stretchy, but I try to stay flexible. And you're going to take your elbows and push down, and you can do that with your back leaned over a little bit, and you can really feel that on the inside of your legs there. As you push down, you're going to push down and hold, like I said, for 10-15 seconds. And then the other way is you can lean with your back up and press down, and you can feel it in a different way on the inside of those hip flexors and your groin area. You can really feel that. That's the other one I really like to do after I do the hamstrings. And then in between each exercise, a lot of times I'll come back and hit the hamstrings again. Hit the hamstrings one more time. And then got the old, like they could in gym class back in the day, sexy ladies. All right, boys, hit them sexy ladies. But I really like the sexy ladies, and that's just you're putting your one knee up, and then you're going to turn against that with the opposite elbow. And the whole key is really looking backwards and exhaling. Inhale and then exhale, and you hold it. So I'm going to inhale and then exhale, and I'll be able to hold it and turn a little bit further. And I'm going to hold that, like I said, 10-15 seconds. I can feel it all, everything in my back. Feels great. And then I'm going to do the opposite side as well for another 10-15 seconds. And if I feel like my back's still tight, you can do another round. You can do multiple rounds of all these movements. Then you're really starting to get loose. You've loosened up some of your lower back. You've loosened up your hamstrings, a lot of stuff on the inside of your legs. And now it's hard to stretch the upper part of your back. The upper part of your erectors is what it is on your back. But you can do that by going over backwards like this. Now you might have to work up to doing this position, but it's kind of an odd thing to do. But man, I love it, and I really think it helps me stay loose. And when you do that, you should be able to feel it way up there, right there in your back. You can feel it right there. And so I'll just hold it as long as I can. And the more you do that exercise, the more you're going to get used to it. So don't. It does kind of look weird, especially like if somebody comes out of the bathroom and you're laying like that on the floor. They're like, dude, what in the world are you doing? And hopefully you're not doing it nude, because that would be even more awkward. But the next stretch is for all you guys out there. If you're tired of taking a whiz halfway through the night, or like an hour before you really want to get up, if you drink a bunch of beers, then you got to, this is part of it. You can't prevent that. But if you have normal hydration, what I've found is my doctor recommended me doing more abdominal stretching, because as you get older, men, your lower abdominal walls gets tighter, puts pressure on your bladder. You can't make it through the night. So I've loosened up my lower abdomen area by doing the old seal stretch. Now you just come up and you're gonna look up and you'll feel that in your lower abdomen area. You'll feel that stretch and you just hold it for 10 or 15 seconds. Then you can back it up with the downward dog. Downward dog is so popular. A lot of dogs do it. Most dogs do it actually. But that's kind of how it got its name. Downward dog right there stretches a lot of stuff in your back right there. I like the downward dog. Feels good. And I usually do at least 2 or 3 rounds of the seal stretch to really get that lower abdominal area stretched out. And that's kind of my routine right there. That's it takes at least 5 minutes to do, I would say, the short version. Like if I'm not in a big hurry and I'm not dead tired or something like that, then I'll probably do more in the lines of 8 or 10 minutes of those stretches that I just showed you. So that's kind of my stretching routine that I like to do each night before I go to bed. It helps you not have to take a whiz at night. It just helps keep your back loose, and then also you sleep better at night. So anybody else has any other stretches or anything they want to add to that, be sure to drop that down in the comments. I personally would like to know even more better stretches to do as well. So I appreciate everybody watching.